So this is the whole crux of our philosophy. This is our whole hope, our only hope for personally making advancement and for spreading Krishna consciousness. That somehow we can bring people into touch with Krishna, or bring by our own mind into touch with Krishna. And all that thick crust of material desires that's there for millions of lifetimes, covering our pure Atma. That this can be dissipated by the Lord's presence. So therefore he's saying, Maya Vishita Diyam. Those whose consciousness is fully absorbed in him. Na kama, kamaya, kalpate. Those desires, though they be material, kama, kamaya. Or the desire of those who fix their minds on me. Kama. Okay, they're coming to me with some desire. And Krishna say, kamaya kalpate na. That does not lead to lust. Just like burnt barleycorns cannot sprout. So the whole focus has to be on how to fix the mind on the Lord, as described in the purport here. Our process is not one of desirelessness, but purified desire. So, another example is given by Rupa Goswami, that as Krishna also discusses in the Gita chapter 2, impulses may come into the mind like rivers, rushing rivers into an ocean. And of course in the Gita, Krishna says that one who doesn't pay any attention to them, his peace is not disturbed. In other words, if the mind is like an ocean, Mahatma, very broad, very vast, so many rivers going into that ocean, nothing, still. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti. Sarve shantim apnati nakama kami. Not disturbed. Because big ocean. So big mind, desires may be coming in, but doesn't pay any attention. So what makes a big mind in Mahatma is this Maya Veshita. Because it's connected to something big. The mind by itself is like a vine, you know. It connects itself to a plant. The vine is like, doesn't have any strength, it just goes. But when it's connected to something very solid, sometimes they grow on the side of a building, or sometimes you see them someplace they grow them on a telephone pole. It goes up like that. So it's whatever qualities of that which it attaches itself to, it becomes like that. So the mind by itself may be very weak and flickering, chanchala, but if it's a aveshita, maya, on Krishna, fixed, then it becomes very big and very broad. The impulses may be coming in, or because they've been there in our subconscious, the desires are there for so many lifetimes, They don't take root. They don't sprout to lead to lust. So in other words, the contemplation is not there. Right? Which Krishna said in the second chapter, the contemplation has to be there to lead to lust. Jaitu, Vishan, Pumsan, Sangastishu, Jaitu, Sangat, Sanjayati, Kama. So the Kama comes from the Sangat, the association, which comes from the Jayata, comes from the meditation. So Krishna is saying, meditate on me instead of Ishita, then you don't have to worry about those things. So back to Rupa Goswami's desire example, he was saying that the river is rushing, material desire. But sometimes a tidal wave in the ocean. And so when that tidal wave is coming in and meets that river, it overflows the river, neutralizes it. So this is Rupa Goswami's example, that the tidal wave of devotional service is such that it overfloods. See, that's also another example, the burnt barley corns. But also, when the seeds are flooded over, they also, maybe paddy is different. You need lots of water, right? They grow in water.
It's a constant water.
Yeah. But other seeds, too much water to flood it, they don't. It's not good for them. So flooded by devotional service. So Krishna uses the same word in chapter 12, beginning of chapter 12. Maya Vishitama. Maya Vishitama. Manoyam. Nityukta pasate. Nityukta pasate. Yeah. Tisham Jani Nityukta.
Ekabhaktir Vishishta.
Ekabhaktir Vishishta. That's what it was. That's what messed me up before. Last time when I quoted that verse, I said the second line of this one. Maya Vishita, no, Nityukta pasate. Shraddhaya Pariyopetas Teme Yukta Tamamataha. Yeah. So Arjuna is asking the question, Krishna's answer, which is the highest? And Krishna is saying, those who are fixing their minds upon me. Why? Because the others do not have such a object. So it's always a struggle. They do not have such an object which is attractive to the mind. They're trying to meditate on nothing, basically, trying to empty the mind. Desirelessness. So Krishna's saying this is not, it's always going to be a struggle, it's not practical. And they're not even the highest. I consider them to be the highest yogi. And then a few verses later, again he's saying, Maya Vishita Chetasam, just at the end of chapter text 7. Tesham Hamsam Udarta, Rityasam Sarasagarat. Bhavami Nachirat Parta, Maya Vishita Chetasam, uses the same word. And Chetasam means consciousness or mind. Maya Vishita. Always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me. For them, I'm the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. But then the question becomes, oh, this is not an easy thing to do. So then what? So then Krishna says in the next verse, well, 2 verses actually. Next verse he says, he concludes that if you fix your mind on me, I will swiftly deliver you from samsara. Mai eva mano adatsva. So he uses another word here for fixing or absorbing, adatsva. Fixed. My buddham nideshaya. Just fix your mind upon me and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. So then what do we can do that? Then he gives an answer, alternative. plan B. That abhyasa yogena tato, by the practice, a steady practice of devotional service. Prabhupada translates regulated principles of bhakti yoga. And then ichta aptum, you'll get that desire for me. Krishna is saying, fix your mind on me. But how we can fix on something that we don't love? We have no attraction for it. So Krishna said, you get that desire by abhyasa yogena, practicing the regulated principles of bhakti yoga. Then this desire should gradually come. Otherwise, Bhagavatam says it's ultimately just shrama eva kevala. Dharmasya.
Dharmasya avavargasya.
No. Dharma hi. Dharma samstapita pumsa. Vishvakshana no padya yadiratim. If that taste doesn't come, then it's all useless. Because the whole point here is saying that if we can fix our mind on Krishna, then all those material desires cannot fructify. The hidden desires will not turn into that lust, which then leads to the frustration and the anger and the hell. And again in the second chapter he's saying Paramdasvana Vartate. That ultimately it's the only way to fix the mind, is to develop